Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. We are Millennial Mom. If you don't know who is who, I'm Millennial. This is Mom. Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Mom or Kay from Millennial Mom, and today I'm going to talk about 90 Day Fiancé, Love in Paradise, Season 3, Episode 7, Cry Me a River. Now, before I begin, please, if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, hit that subscribe button. I believe it's in the lower right-hand corner of your screen or TV or wherever you're watching us on, or watching me on, I should say. Hit that like button and don't forget to leave your comments because I read every comment and I would love to know what your take is on this episode. So let's get started. So today, Jessica and Juan are going to tell Jessica's two young sons that they're having a baby. So it's Jessica, Juan, Dawson, Denver, or is it Dawson, Denver? Or excuse me, Dayton and Dawson, Juan's brother Andres. They're all gonna go to the river to have lunch and they're gonna tell the kids, right? Preparing the meal, and Jessica's like, oh, that cilantro smells so good. It's like cilantro, corn, chicken, like the entire chicken, the head, the feet, just all parts. There's nothing wasted. Why does little Dawson say, no, I don't want to try it? It's an N-O, N-O. I'm like, you know what? Every time we see Jessica's kids, they're giving spoiled. They're giving Dennis the Menace. And you know what? Juan says, those boys just run over their mom. You know, they're having a baby together. And he goes, that's not right. You know, he says that he doesn't want his child to grow up to run over the mom because that is not a good thing. They all sit down, they get the soup, and the oldest little boy was like, oh my gosh, what is this? It's a chicken foot, right? So he's not too scared of it. I think he gives it like a little try of the soup anyways. And so on the youngest one, who is, sorry to say Jessica, but he is the one that whines the most. There's a chicken head and he's like, oh my God, I don't want it. I don't want it. Now you have to remember that the little boy also doesn't like milk in his cereal. He's a very picky eater, right? So I was like, why would you even do that to him? He's already whining about everything, and to see the chicken head, yeah, that sends him overboard. Now, I wonder if they have a separate meal for the little boy to eat. I don't think so, because it looked like it was a one-pot meal down at the river, and his mom really should have packed him like a peanut butter and jelly, because she already knows he's not going to eat any of that. But Juan is saying in his confessional, again, there's a lot of confessionals for Juan this episode. I guess he didn't want to say anything to rock the boat with Jessica, but I get it, right? So Juan is saying, you know what? When I was younger, pretty much what was put in front of us is what we ate. And if you're the one that got the chicken head in your soup, you're lucky. You're the lucky boy. So Juan is saying, oh, you're lucky. Look at the soup. And of course, it's like, no, 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 N-O, N-O. So after that, they asked the boys and Juan's brother Andres to close their eyes and hold up their hands, okay? So once they close their eyes, hold up their hands, they put the item in the hands, which is a t-shirt. So on the t-shirt says, you're gonna be a big brother, and I'm sure Andres says you're gonna be an uncle, right? And so they were helping the youngest read it, a big brother. He's like, oh, right? Both boys seem happy. But then the oldest one, Dayton, he is crying. He is crying a river. He's like, no, I don't want a baby right now, because he feels like his mom, Jessica, is going to love the baby more than she loves him. And Jessica's like, no, you're going to be a great big brother. You're going to love the baby. We're going to love the baby. We're going to be a big family. And then she said, well, you know, I still love you. You're a great big brother to your little brother, Dawson, right here. So nothing's going to change. But I think it was like a little too much too soon. Jessica did say that they've been in Colombia with Juan for the past 4 days. So they're just meeting Juan, really. They're getting used to their environment, right? And there's new foods, new smells, new locations, and just trying to, you know, feel Juan out. And they just, I don't know, it's just like sensory overload. Spoiler alert, it was on 90 Day Fiancé Instagram. Jessica and Juan welcomed their baby boy less than 5 days ago by the name of David. Welcome to the family, David. All right, so let's move to Scott and Lidia. So it's still the same evening for them. So they just went from the breakfast with Nicole to dinner. At least they tried to have dinner. The translator app wasn't working, and then Scott's back started hurting. So he gets in the middle of the street. He's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, stretching his back, right? So then they go to the next spot. I mean, they just never got past the same day. It's like Groundhog Day. This date is never ending. So they go get a nightcap, and bottom line for this couple, Scott gets frustrated because he's asking Lidia, does she have the app on her phone? I believe she knows now what he's talking about, pointing to the phone and everything. She says, yeah, and they try to use it, and it's not working, whether it be user error or what. It's just simply not working. So Scott gets up, and he actually pulls a member of production. He's like, listen, can I have someone translate? He said, this is very frustrating. I'm trying to get my point across. There's things I need to say, and things just aren't going the way that they should. Can someone just help us out? And so Lidia is sitting down. Of course, she don't know any English, right? So she's saying to producers and in confessional, she's like, I don't understand why you got to talk to producers about what's going on. She feels like, I think Lidia feels like they can continue to use that translator app without bringing other people in, because I think Lidia feels there's a bigger problem than what it is. And you know what? She happens to be right. So as Scott and one of the producers get to translating, Scott says, you know what? Lidia is a great person. He feels like they've had great conversation over the year. Even though the conversations generally have been short, he just seems like there's something off, like they're not really connecting. And he's saying that it's not anything that Lydia's doing. He just feels like, really the same energy isn't being reciprocated. So Lydia's asking the person translating, so does that mean he's finished or what? It's more than just a lack of communication between the two. But guess what? When Scott said that, not even a few minutes goes by, Scott admits that the 29-year-old ex-girlfriend from Colombia that he met online, the one who ghosted him for 8 months, who he didn't hear from, then he started, having a online relationship with Lidia 2 weeks ago, which would have been like before he came on this trip, reached back out to him. And Scott says he's conflicted because he wants to know where things can go with the lady who ghosted him, because he was in love with her. And here's my thing, and I actually saw this quote, and I believe it's from Mel Robbins. And it goes to the fact of, stop looking for closure. You got it when they disrespected you. So Scott got his closure. So he was talking to this lady. He apparently spent that $15,000 because he didn't deny it, because Nicole and whoever else dug it up to ask Scott, you sent her $15,000, but you couldn't send my mom not even $1. So yeah, I just want to know, at Scott, at his particular age, why does he think this young lady is coming back after ghosting him for almost a whole year? 8 months, and he's conflicted? So, but do you think that if the relationship was going better with Lidia, if they had like on similar energies, similar playing ground, that maybe the lady saying, oh, hey, Scott, or whatever she's saying to get back in, he wouldn't pay that any mind? Because see, Scott said he was ready to settle down. And even though it may not be Lidia, why would you go backwards to someone who apparently took all that money from you, telling you all these sweet nothings, right? While you're still getting to know Lidia before you was even in the Dominican, that can just come back so easily. So I think there's a little bit more piece of the puzzle where that's concerned. But Scott is saying, well, I didn't want to lie. I want to be truthful. Technically you did lie, because you could have said that before you even came to the Dominican and not wasted any more of your time. Because again, if it's that easy for someone to come back in your life, someone you really don't even know, why would you still follow through with Lidia? But anyways, Lidia said in her confessional that, she had a suitcase full of love, respect for Scott, and now she's heartbroken. So now let's move to Jordan and Everett. So when we see them again, it's the next morning, and after Jordan shared that text message about, your man, Everton? Yeah, well, I've been sleeping with him too. Well, apparently, Jordan and Everton worked out whatever it is they need to work out. We'll roll with that for the time being until their story plays out a little bit more, right? Because again, there's way more to this story. It just has to be, because we're still trying to figure out who this lady is who's saying, do you know about Everton? So now Jordan and Everton are going out to hang out at a rental house by the ocean that they're going to stay at, because the next day or two, she's going to meet Everton's family for the first time. Now, Jordan and Everton have been dating on and off for 12 years. And so this is the first time that she's meeting the mom and the family. I wonder if she's going to meet the children too. And who's to say the person that called her, that got her number from his phone, is not going to be there too? And you know what? Someone else made a good point when we talk about the show live, that maybe the lady on the phone could be one of his baby mamas. Maybe. You never know. While they're at the rental house, Jordan decides that she's going to tell Everton her secret. Okay? So Everton comes out after she calls him. She's like, you know what? I had to do some things to get the money for the apartments we're going to build in Cayman Bay. Everton says, yeah, I know that you mortgaged your house. She says, well, I had to do a little bit more than that. I had to, start making videos because what I had just simply wasn't enough. And so Everton says, well, what kind of videos? So Jordan pops up the infamous sitting on the birthday cake video. And so Everton looks at it, he's like, that's silly. So you just do silly videos? And Jordan goes, now she's hemming and hawing for a minute, right? She's like, no, I kind of do some silly, some more sensual. Just depends on, what someone wants. And Everton, for the time being, he says, well, I guess. He's like, this is how we eat. So, she gives me money, so I really can't say too much as long as it's nothing more than that. So I guess for now, he's like, okay, cool. So you do you, I'm doing me. That's what I'm getting from it, right? And then Jordan in confessional says, she's surprised that Everton is just so cool and calm about this. She says, maybe he's trying to throw her off by that voicemail. But the voicemail and her doing these social media things, these silly videos and these fetish videos, no, they're not the same. So really, he's got another thing coming if he thinks that's what it is. So they later go to an excursion. They go out to a waterfall and everything. And Jordan is a nudist. It didn't take but 2.5 seconds for Jordan to get to the waterfall, hand Everton the camera, because see, the camera in the videos is for Everton's eyes only. And she proceeds to take her clothes off and make a little video under the waterfall. And so one of the funny things about that is, like, when they were done, because Everton was eating that up, right? When they were done, the person that took them out there to the waterfall, he's like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that from the lady. He's like, I had a good time myself. So, from a distance, just, getting the free show. So, yeah, we'll see how everything goes when Jordan finally gets to meet the family, and who's to say who else is going to show up. So now we're headed back to Carnival with Anna and Matthew. So Matthew is in a werewolf costume in that tropical heat. Now, last week when we saw Matthew, he was in like a Peter Pan outfit. And I gave that the same equation as like a 5th grade stage play. Well, guess what? The Peter Pan and the big bad wolf that he was on this episode, yeah, same thing. Same exact thing. Same elementary school stage play. But see, Matthew said this is the sexy werewolf version. I was like, no. Because you got on the little hat, and the little, I don't know, cape and things like that. It gave the big bad wolf from the Three Little Pigs chasing Little Red Riding Hood. Like very juvenile. But Anna, she had on like the Catwoman costume. See, Anna didn't come to play. Anna knows what it is about Carnival, because this is where she's from. This is what she does. But I'm surprised that Matthew was able to get up, because he had jet lag. When we saw him last episode, he didn't know what time it was, and he probably didn't know where he was after drinking all that alcohol and being sleep deprived. But he got up, had that outfit on. I hope he washed up though, because he was really looking real bad last week. But anyways, they go out, and you know what? Not all, a few different men are saying hello to Anna, right? And Matthew kind of noticed that early in the morning before he had to take that nap, that there were men looking at her. I mean, Anna's 26. She's, 10 years younger than him, and she's attractive, right? And so, I mean, she's just out there, just be out there, and they're coming up to her as if she's not with Matthew, and she's got to say, no, no, no. This is my man. This is my boyfriend. And even though Matthew's trying to be like, hey, get out of here, whatever. A lot of those people don't speak English, and they don't know what he's talking about, and vice versa. He don't know what they're saying either, Portuguese, Brazilian, or whatever language some of the people are talking to him with. I think it's both over there, Portuguese and Brazilian. If Brazilian is a language, forgive me, but I know Portuguese is definitely one. But Anna's got to, make Matthew comfortable, give him kisses here and there to reassure him. And see, Matthew's like, kind of like, no, I could handle my own. I'm thinking, nope, you still hungover, you a $125 soaking wet. You don't know what's up. I mean, your girlfriend is into kickbox and stuff like that. She can handle the business for herself, and probably for you too. No shade. Well, one guy in particular comes up to Anna, and he's like, oh, so, you want to come with me? Whatever he's saying. She's like, no, I'm with him. Oh, he's like, that's your boyfriend? She's like, yeah. He's like, are you sure? Are you serious? He was seriously questioning her choices. You're with him in that werewolf costume. But she stuck by her man, and he went off his own merry way, the guy who was trying to talk to Anna. And Matthew's saying he hopes that Anna will still stick by his side, because her visa application has been delayed up to 2 years, and he's not sure if she can last that long being without him, with all these guys hitting on her. I mean, newsflash, they're going to hit on her whether she's in Brazil or not. All right, so that was the end of the episode. But next week we have coming up, Jessica's friend is going to talk to Juan about the cheating allegation that she heard from her friend, that Juan was talking to some other women on the cruise, probably the same way that Juan met Jessica on the cruise, right? The same exact way. Valentine talks with his mother and is apprehensive to tell her that him and Carlos have broke up and there's no longer a wedding. But then Valentine says, well, he's hoping that Carlos will change his mind and come around and show up anyways. I'm like, show up to what? The wedding is off. I mean, have you reached back out to Carlos? And I wonder what the time frame is. I wonder, we'll see next week if Valentine is at home or if he's still in Colombia. So that was just kind of curious to me, show up. But anyways, Valentine has always been in his own world, in my opinion. And then we have April and Valentine. So April has been invited to spend the day with her man Valentine's family, and April is already looking around and, just giving the aura of, this is dirty. I'm better than this. I don't want to be here. I'm a physician. This is not what I do. The vibe is all the way off. It is. We need to see more of April and her Valentine so we can get a better grip on her. Like I said, we know she's well accomplished, but the dynamic with the family and what she says that she won't do, yeah. And then finally, we have Lydia and Scott. They're still talking about everything that's going on. Lydia is visibly upset, as she should. And while they're talking, who walks in with the arms crossed and an attitude? Nicole. So yeah, Lydia has called Nicole to say, hey, guess what happened? We're still out here. Come on over. So, all right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave your comments so I know what you thought about this episode. And until next time, everyone, live simply, be grateful.